Hey there, Sam Ashers, and welcome to Sam Ash Live. I'm your host, Dave Stutz, and today we have the unique pleasure to celebrate the birthday of Les Paul. Unique for this year. We'll do it again next year. We'll do it last year. Did we do it last year? I don't know, but we're so excited to celebrate Les Paul and his amazing legacy, his birth, all that he's done from the beginning of his career till now. We're very excited to do that. Right at the start, I do want to mention we have an awesome giveaway. I love when we have giveaways. They're so much fun. So today what we're going to do is we're giving away two prizes. One is a secret, awesome surprise that we'll do at the very end, so you'll want to tune in for that. And the other one is one of these 4 straps that I have right here. So if you check it out, we've got a Perry's star strap on blue. We've got an Ernie Ball sort of belt buckle strap. We've got a Diodario sort of tribal print strap. And then we have another Perry's black leather with red trim. Now here's what you need to do to possibly take one of these home today for a chance to win these. We have a little Les Paul trivia. So when Les Paul was setting out to make his name in the industry as a guitar maker, as anything, him and his buddy, they flipped a coin and they said if it lands on one side, we're gonna go to New York City. If it goes on the other side, we're gonna go to a different city. Now they ended up in New York. The trivia question for today is what was that other city? If that coin had landed on the other side, where would Les Paul have ended up and what would we have had today had that happened? So all you need to do, comment below what was that other city for a chance to win either one of these prizes. It's the same contest. I'm pointing over here because I'm hiding the secret surprise behind the amp. Don't try to zoom in, you'll never see it. Okay, so for a chance to win one of these straps, just list below what was that other city. So today we're celebrating Les Paul. The history of Les Paul and Sam Ash is actually a little more connected than you think. I love to look back at the history and the timeline of when everything happened and how everything happened. Because if you think about it, Les Paul was born in 1915, all right, which seems like a really long time ago because it is. And what's awesome is that he didn't die that long ago, really, if you think about it. I think he lived 95 years or something like that. Incredible. Nice long life, huge legacy left for us. So a few years later, 1924, that's when Sam Ash opened the first store in Brooklyn. Now, Les Paul started, he released the Les Paul, right? The first one that we know and love, this body shape, I believe in 1952, 51, 52, something like that. So if you think about it, Sam Ash had been around for almost 30 years, which was pretty good at the time, but still fairly early, or still fairly young when you consider how long we've been around now. So Sam Ash got to be there for the beginnings of the Les Paul, which is really cool for me to be able to work with people like Sammy Ash and his family and the Ash family, and just know that they were around so long with that they could see the Les Paul and everything that came after it. What a tremendous history. There's more to the Les Paul, which is pretty interesting, but you know what? I think I'll save that history for when we get to this guy right next to me, which I'm going to pull in frame just a little bit more because it's sort of dark. There you go. Looks a little black. It's actually blue. Nice SG right there. So what's on the agenda? Well, what did we look at today? We did a Les Paul stream fairly recently, but we didn't look at any of these. We're just going to touch on a few today and kind of just really try to focus on Les and the awesome work that he did. This one is brand new. This is a 2017 Gibson Les Paul traditional high performance, which is really cool. If you look at it, it's got some unique things that I'm used to seeing in a Les Paul and that I'm not used to seeing. On the back here, it definitely looks like two pieces between the neck and the body, but it almost feels more like a neck through design. It doesn't really have that set neck. Like if you look at the back of this Epiphone here, that's more traditional Les Paul style, where you sort of set that neck inside the pocket of the body, and that's what you get. This one isn't really like that. It's kind of got that neck through feel, that neck through design. So it's really smooth down here. It makes playing these higher notes, I noticed, really comfortable, which is awesome. The truss rod cover is like this really nice, I don't know if it's like aluminum or stainless steel, or it could be chrome plated. It could be brushed nickel. I'm sorry, that's so funny. I just named like 4 very different alloys. It's one of them, it's gotta be. But it looks really nice. High performance definitely sells it. It looks like something you'd see on a hot rod or a sports car or something. And then it's got these sort of what I would imagine they call top hats, right? But they're more of like a nice metal, really smooth action on them. Really nice. Just a great guitar. Everything is sleek and polished. And it comes with the G-Force headstock tuner. It's really tuned, so you're probably not going to see much, but I'll strum it just in case. All right, the A moved like just a little bit. So that's really handy. It keeps your guitar in tune really fast. Tuning this guitar today only took a few minutes. I mean, when you first get it out of the box, the strings can be really loose, so it's got to really wind up. But after it's set, it's really fast to tune. So that was nice. And it can do lots of different tunings. It's pretty easy to get in and out of the menu on it. So they're really cool. They're cool tuners. Makes tuning up at the gig very simple. Reads all the vibration of your guitar, so if everyone around you is making a lot of noise, it doesn't matter. It'll just tune up for you. So we're talking about Les Paul today, right? We're talking about his history and his legacy. So I want to move over to this next guitar because I think there's a cool story about it that not everybody knows. Hardcore guitar people know the story, like all of the folks I ran around the office asking because they know far more than I do. Mike Rock, our vintage buyer, knows a lot about guitars. I went to John Connolly for this one though. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's a Les Paul player. Let's play it first, then I'll talk about it. So this, of course, is a Gibson Les Paul, right? No, most people are freaking out. They're saying that's an SG. Okay, really cool story for those who don't know. Right around 1961, I believe it was, the Les Paul that we all know and love was considered by some, I don't know, to be like old-fashioned maybe, and it wasn't selling super well at the time, so they discontinued it. They didn't start making the Les Paul that we know and love again until, man, what was it? I think it was 68. So for like a 7-year period, there were no Les Pauls. So what they did is they did a redesign and they made this. And this took over as the Gibson Les Paul back in 61 or 62, right around then. I forget the complete time frame. So there was a time where you would buy this guitar and I'm pretty sure like either on the neck here or up on the truss rod cover, it would say Gibson Les Paul. That's pretty cool. But later, it became the SG that we all know and love. So cool little story. For those of you who didn't know, the original SG started out as being a Les Paul. Now this one is really beautiful. I'm gonna try to catch it in that perfect light. I think they call it a quilted blue. It's a really, really deep blue. In certain lights, I can see this looking black, maybe even a little purple. This has a very similar design that we saw in this Les Paul, although I believe this one is set. It seems to be a little more set, but that still feels like a solid piece right there. So super comfortable. And what do we know about SGs? This one's no different. Crazy light. Compared to this one, it's night and day. I could probably throw this guitar 30 yards, whereas I could throw this one 15 yards, but I won't do that. The inlays on this one are beautiful. Looks like some sort of mother of pearl or something. And up on the truss rod cover, it says Les Paul. How cool is that? That rules, right? Did I happen to get some sort of weird, like, anniversary Les Paul SG? I'm honestly not sure. I went into the room, I found the first one that said SG, and I pulled it off the wall. I don't exactly know, but that's cool. Or maybe they all say Les Paul. I'm an amateur. I'm sorry. But really cool, really cool. So, again, we're talking about Les Paul. Today's his birthday. He would have been 102 years old today. We have, like I mentioned, such a rich history. Dave, I think we had some photos. Do you think maybe we could throw those up here in a second? We're going to do a quick little reset on our cameras. And then I want to show you guys how close that we are to Les Paul. So Dave, when you get a chance, throw up photo 1 in a second. Here, I'll play this in the laugh. Cool. So what we have here, you get Les Paul all the way to the left. In the middle is Rose there. And to the right, we have Paul Ash. This was at the opening of our Paramus, New Jersey store. So we opened a store and Les Paul came down and hung out with us. How cool was that? Go to the next photo, Dave. This is from that same event. You see Les Paul there signing autographs for, it's got to be a group of the coolest people in the entire world. Look at these people. 1975 seemed like such a magical time, man. Like, people were just into music, into however it took to make it. So Les Paul came down, he's signing autographs. I mean, how cool is that? Les Paul has a, we can go ahead and pull that one down, Dave. We'll go to the next one in just a minute. So, like I said, New York City, you know, for a lot of people is just this wonderful place they imagine in their head. They see it on TV. But when you live here, when you walk the streets of 48th Street and Music Row, and you see all the places that used to be the Manny's Music, the Sam Ash that used to be on 48, and you think about Les Paul being in New York, coming up with the ideas for the first Les Paul and things like that. It's just such an awesome thing to contemplate the timeline, because to a lot of us, even like me of my generation, it seems like a tale of old, you know. It seems like a fairy tale. You know, we think about history sometimes in these, you know, magical terms, as if, you know it happened, but in your head you almost, you know, wonder if it did, kind of thing. But, you know, that's what's so cool, is to look at these photos and see Les Paul and how connected he was to Sam Ash, how connected Sam Ash was to Les Paul. It was just such an awesome experience, especially when you talk to people like our fearless leader, Sammy Ash. Can we throw up that photo, Dave? Sammy Ash has such a unique experience with Les Paul, both the man and the guitar. He's definitely a Gibson guy. Right here is a little bit later in his life, of course. We have Sammy hanging out with Les Paul, and I love this photo. I got to try something while it's up, because this seems really awesome to me. Let me see if I can, because I never got the chance to meet Les Paul. I wish I did. I'm going to see what I can figure out. Oh no, it's this way. I'm so backwards. So I line this up just right. Oh no, it's too low. I can do this. I can so do this. Oh, it's like, all right, it's like the weirdest Les Paul you've ever seen. Dude, it looks like I'm taking a photo with Les Paul. Man, this is movie magic. Oh, Dave, you fixed it. This is so cool. I'm gonna save this, and this is gonna be my new Facebook profile photo. So let me get a smile real quick. That's so cool. So there's Les Paul hanging out with Sammy. What's the next photo, Dave? Let me see it in the preview. I don't know what event this was, but look how happy Sammy is. Oh, this is a great photo coming up. Throw this one up, Dave. So this is another New Jersey store. I don't know which one. It might be Paramus. I'm not sure. But we've got Tommy Myers from Gibson on the left. We got Paul Ash again, right next to Sammy. And then you got Sammy. And then there's Les Paul all the way on the right. This is 2004, I think. So that's pretty awesome. Sorry, I'm taking a look at the next photo. So Les Paul, I believe if I heard Sammy right, he came out to one of our New Jersey stores. I don't think it was an opening or anything, but it was like a meet and greet. You know, so how cool is that? That Les Paul, this guy that I'm sure has a million things he could be doing, especially at his pretty advanced age here. I'm sure it wasn't easy for him to grit around. Wanted to come out. He wanted to meet people, do a little meet and greet, talk to people. That's awesome. Let's see the next photo, Dave. This is another great photo that I love. This is Rachel, Sammy's wife, hanging out with Les Paul. Super awesome. I'm not sure what event that was. Was it the Jazz Festival, as seen in this guy's t-shirt? It may not. I don't know. Hang on. What date was that? 2005? Yeah, I don't know. It could have been, man. It could have been. I believe Les Paul died in 2009. So that could have been. Let me see what the next photo is. Yeah, throw that one up. So this is Sammy Ash just in utter love and joy with his Les Pauls. He's a really big Les Paul guy. That's part of his huge collection there, and I'm sure that those are not all the Les Pauls he owns. But one thing I think is really cool about Sammy is he'll tell you a story about every single one of those. You know, if I owned that many guitars, I feel like they would all start to bleed together, and I'd be like, you know what, I picked this one up somewhere at some time, but Sammy's not like that. He'll tell you every single one. And we did a live stream once with all of these. All right, my producer is telling me that we once did a live stream with all of these. That was before I was taking over. It's on Facebook. Check it out if you want to do that. If you want to really dive in to the birthday of Les Paul and just fill your heart with awesome Les Paul joy, definitely check out that live stream. Now, the next couple of photos are something that we are tremendously proud of here at Sam Ash. Don't throw it up just yet, Dave. Let me talk for a second. Pull Sammy down. One thing about our industry, not just retail, but music retail, is it's about building relationships. It's about trust. You know, it's about, you know, if you're a salesperson, it's about your customer knowing that you have their best interests and they have yours. You build a relationship. You want them to trust you as much as you trust them, with our vendors, with anyone we meet. You know, and with anyone, even in personal relations, the best people you have in your life are the people that you just trust with your thoughts, your emotions, and your feelings. And what I love, I mean, you just saw all these photos, these personal moments that we had with Les Paul going all the way back, I'm sure beyond 1975, all the way to right up before he died. I mean, that guy's t-shirt said 2005 on it, so it had to be at least that time or more. I mean, he died in 2009, so for such a huge part of his career, we were growing right there with him. So as he was gaining his you know, fame in guitar building, we were slowly getting our stores around the country. So it's really cool. Our history was built right alongside his history. So Les Paul will always be super important to us. And when you talk about building trust, go ahead and throw this photo up, Dave. Daily News Magazine, I don't exactly know when, but they did a spread about Les Paul. He's on the cover there. There's a great article right there. I think that might have been his autograph. It looks like his autograph on our copy. And it says, I don't know, it looks like it says 690. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe it was June of 1990. Maybe that's when it was. Let's say it was June of 1990. And one of the questions I suppose he was asked was about his general approach to like inventing. And this was the quote that he said, which we will always be super proud of. Throw up the next slide, Dave. If I can't find what I want in a Sam Ash store, I try to build it. That's what he said. So imagine he's sitting in an interview and they say, so, Les Paul, what is your general approach to inventing? And he goes, hey, if I can't find what I want in a Sam Ash store, I try to build it. I mean, the fact that he wouldn't even mention us, you know what I mean, is just crazy. Pull that slide down. So, you know, imagine, we just live in such a different time, you know, where we're just being a genuine person with personal relationships is less and less common. Like imagine like, imagine you design video games or something, and someone says, what's your approach to making a game? And they're like, man, if I don't find it at Best Buy, I try to just make it. Like, that doesn't happen. No one says that. You know, what's your approach to growing produce? Man, if I don't find it at Stop and Shop, I try to grow it. Like, that just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen anymore. So I know that's kind of a funny thing to say, but I'm just, you know, the more I grow with Sam Ash and the more I do with them, the more I'm so proud of all the things that we've done. The fact that we can cultivate a relationship with a household name that I've known since I was a little kid and have these awesome moments with him over the years is just truly amazing. The fact that we built up enough trust in him with us and us with him that he could say, hey, if I don't see it at a Sam Ash, I try to build it. That's really great, and we'll forever be grateful for that and hold on to it. So thank you for that, Les Paul. Thank you so much. So let's see. We took a look at the Les Paul Traditional. We learned a little history lesson about the SG. Showed you some great photos. Talked about Les Paul a little bit. So what's over here? We have awesome Epiphones. So Epiphone is like one of the earliest guitar manufacturers. I think they started making guitars like in 1930 or 1930 something in the 30s. Like right when the Great Depression hit, they're like, man, we got to build guitars. That's so cool. And they survived, right? And we did. I mean, we started our store in 1924 and then just went beyond. Before we talk about Epiphones, let me just mention, because I don't want to forget, for those of you who may have tuned in later, we are doing a giveaway. So you have two prizes. One, if you are one of the lucky winners, you get to choose one of these straps right here. All you have to do is comment below with the correct answer to the trivia question, which I'll tell you again in a second. So the names that I've given these, because, you know, it's more fun. This one's Belt Buckle. This one's Starry, this one's Spiky, and this one is Trimmy, because it's got a red trim on black leather. So Trimmy, Spiky, Starry, Belt Buckle. You get to choose one of these if you're the winner. And then we have a special grand prize, which I have hidden behind the Marshall amp, which we will announce at the end. So for your chance to win, you have to answer this question correctly. When Les Paul and his buddy were younger, I forget what his buddy's name was, they flipped a coin, because I forget where they were from, and they said if it lands on this side, we'll go to New York City. If it goes to this side, we'll go to some other city, okay? They ended up in New York City. My question is, what was that other city that they may have ended up at? What was that other city that, had they arrived there, may have never designed the Les Paul? What was that city? Comment with that city below. We will randomly generate two winners at the very end. We will announce them. For the runner-up, you get to choose one of these. The grand prize winner will win what is behind that amp right there. Never do a live stream right after lunch. Okay, so let's talk about Epiphone. Here I have a beautiful gold top Epiphone. So I was saying Epiphone is one of the earliest guitar manufacturers. Gibson eventually acquired them and started manufacturing very affordable versions of the Les Paul. Now, when we say affordable, does that mean these guitars are cruddy? Absolutely not. My ultimate price range for guitars, I mean, of course, you can go with the 1,000, 2,000, 4,000. Those are great. You know, I have some elite guitars that I love, but you know, that 3 to 500, 3 to 600 range, that's a huge range for guitars. That's when guitars start getting awesome. And that's what these are. I believe these two Epiphones sell just north of about 500 bucks, so they're great guitars. All it means is that they're manufactured in a place that is more affordable to manufacture guitars and with parts that are more affordable to acquire, but they sound awesome. So let's hear what this gold top sounds like. Epiphone gold top, limited lifetime warranty, Alnico classic magnets designed by Epiphone USA for the pickups. Let's do it. That. When you first get a guitar, they come with these awesome little things that tell you what the pickup is, but it's getting in the way of the strings. So take those off before you play. And go. course it does, because they're awesome. They're awesome guitars. Epiphones, here, I'm going to talk about one thing while I grab this one. I love Epiphones because they're affordable. They feel like Les Pauls. They play like Les Pauls. This one is sort of that classic quintessential look. I remember for a little time, I was adjunct faculty for the music program at this high school in Richmond, Virginia. And I remember there was this kid, I'll never forget him, who was the guitar player in the band. And he had an Epiphone that looked just like this. And man, that kid wailed on it. I just love to hear him play. So anytime I see an Epiphone that looks like this, I always think of him. And it's really cool because they sound good and they play good. You know what I mean? So let's hear how this one sounds. This one's unique because it's got push-pull coil tapping pots. So you can turn these into single coils. So let's go clean for this one and see what that sounds like. I'm playing out of the Marshall Jubilee, which is a fairly new amp. We're cutting together some videos that we shot with Marshall about the Jubilee, so look out for those coming soon. They're really awesome. But today we're talking about Les Paul. Happy birthday, Les Paul. Would have been 102. Lots of history with Sam Ash and Les Paul. Let's hear what this guy sounds like. I was pulling the coil tapping in and out on the wrong pickup, so that sounded like nothing to you. Let's fix that. So super versatile. I mean, when you pull the coil taps, it's got that nice single coil sound. You get that nice snappy blues and pop sort of tone, and then you slap them back in and you get that awesome rock and roll Les Paul tone. So this guitar is actually very versatile. So you can do a lot of sounds with it. If you imagine 3 pickup selections times 2 tone knobs times humbucker versus single coil, there's a lot you can do. There's a lot you can blend with this one. And imagine if you're playing some sort of funk riff, but then you get to a solo and you want to hit that humbucker, all you got to do is pop that down. It's that easy. Boom, you're into solo mode, pull it back out, keep your funk going. It's awesome. What a great guitar. Nice finish. Generally made out of mahogany, I believe. Les Paul Standard Pro. I think this one is the Plus Top Pro, which is really cool. Great guitar. That's Epiphone, man. That's Les Paul. That's the legacy. The legacy of the man himself. Today's his birthday. Did you guys know that? I've said it a few times. Les Paul's birthday today. So, thanks for checking out these awesome guitars. We're going to announce the contest winners very soon. Thank you for taking a look at a little bit of the history. We're so proud of how we've grown with Les Paul and all that he's done with us over the years. Coming to store openings, signing autographs for fans, coming and hanging out, getting so close to Sammy and his family and stuff like that. Les Paul, we'll never forget you, man. I mean, even as a little kid growing up in Hampton, Virginia, I always knew what Les Pauls were. I didn't know it was a guy. I thought it was just a guitar when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It wasn't until years later that someone finally told me, and I was like, yeah, I guess someone had to design this thing, right? Because they were just always around. That was another thing that was always funny. You know, it's like you take these for granted. When I was born, these were already well established as an awesome guitar that Clapton had already spent years playing, and Joe Bonamassa had already blown out of the water, and Keith Richards and all these other people. They were just guitars that I had that I took for granted, never thinking that they had to be conceived, conceptualized, constructed, created, and here we are. So I'm very proud of that. So we're going to announce a winner very soon, but we do have some clinics coming up that I want to tell you about. So last time, I'm going to give you a chance. This is the trivia question, and we'll announce it after the clinics. Les Paul, when he was young, hanging out with his buddy, they took a coin. They said, we're going to flip it. If it lands on one side, we're going to New York City. The other side, we're going to some other city. They ended up in New York City. What was that other city that they might have ended up in? For a chance to win one of these straps, belt buckle, starry, spiky, trimmy, or the grand prize hiding behind the Marshall amp that I have almost said 100 times, and it is like taking everything in me not to say it. All right. So, all clinics in the upcoming week, June 9th to June 16th. These are in-store clinics. Canoga Park, out there in California. California. Drum lesson Saturdays. Come learn how to play the drums. Sam Ash, Canoga Park, 10 to 10:30 a.m. It's going to be a quick lesson, but you're going to learn a lot in 30 minutes. It's going to be awesome. They run long. I don't know. I've never been there. Universal Audio presents Next Level Recording with Apollo. So this is really cool. Apollo is, I believe it's an interface from Pro Tools. Really professional level stuff, learning how to record. This is a DIY generation if I've ever seen one. You know, it's to get into a studio is such a next level thing that most people just do it at home. So if you come to these events, they'll give you great advice on how to get that going, because home recording is huge these days. I've seen people build their careers on home recording. You can do it. If they can do it, you can do it. Come learn how to do it. Friday, June 9th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Sam Ash in New Haven. So you get a 2-hour lesson. That's amazing. Come soak it in. Come ask questions. Sam Ash, New Haven, Connecticut, 6 to 8 p.m. That's one of Ben Ash's stores. That's pretty cool. Come to a store run by an Ash. Well, they're all run by Ashes, but he's like in charge of that one. That's pretty cool. Come check that out. Tuesday, June 13th, 6 to 8 p.m. in Cherry Hill. That's an Adam Ash store. Go see his, and then compare them, and then write in. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Tuesday, June 13th, 6 to 8 p.m., Sam Ash, Cherry Hill. Tuesday, June 13th, 6 to 8 p.m., Sam Ash, Miami Lakes. Miami Lakes, that just sounds like a beautiful place. I bet you it's hot there today, though. It's nice and cool in New York. Tuesday, June 13th, 6 to 8 p.m., Sam Ash, Miami Lakes. Learn how to record with Apollo. Boogie Magazine Blues Jam. That sounds amazing, and it's only happening in one place, Sam Ash, San Diego. Sunday, June 11th, 12 to 4 p.m. So 4 hours of Boogie Magazine blues jamming. I love the blues. I can't go out there because I'm way too far away. Please go enjoy it for me. Go get your blues on. Play a few riffs. I want at least one harmonica player to be there, 10 guitarists, 6 drummers, and 12 bassists. I want 12 bassists there. That's minimum. And then build on that. Thanks. Oh man, my favorite store. If you've seen any of these streams, you know this one's my favorite. Richmond Rhythms, Sunday, June 11th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Sam Ash in the beautiful, the wonderful, one of the greatest cities in the world, Richmond, Virginia. RVA for life. Hashtag RVA. Hashtag RVA rules. Hashtag Sam Ash. Hashtag Les Paul. Happy birthday, Les Paul. Richmond Rhythms, Sunday, June 11th. Sabian, Meet the Masters tours. Go check out Sabian, Thursday, June 15th, 11 to 6. Sam Ash in Charlotte, not too far from the Richmond store, about 3 hours. Sam Ash Raleigh, I think, is 3 hours away. I don't know how far Charlotte is. Can't be that much farther. Small Talk, a singer-songwriter workshop part 2, Thursday, June 15th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. right here in Huntington, New York, not too far from us. 2-day events happening, live sound and DJ lighting pro clinic in Spanish, Thursday, June 15th, 4 to 8 p.m., Sam Ash, Phoenix. So if you habla español, go check out the Sam Ash in Phoenix lighting pro clinic. How awesome is that? Doing it again in English, Friday, June 16th, 4 to 8 p.m., Sam Ash, Phoenix. How cool is that? We're offering bilingual events. We're going to have an event just for Spanish-speaking people. How awesome is that? I love that. Also, I'm going to get Dave to throw this up on the screen. As always, I believe this weekend we're having call-in and save events. So call 1-800-472-6274. Speak to any of our people in the call center for any of the gear that you so desire. I mean, I love these Les Pauls. I'm just saying. It's Les Paul's birthday. Put 2 and 2 together. That's all I'm saying. All right, check it out. 1-800-472-6274, which is 1-800-4SAM-ASH. Also check out samash.com to check out all of our great gear. Go to the Guitars of Distinction page where you will see this. Go to Instagram and check out all the beautiful gear that we have taken by our elite, amazing photographers. Go to Twitter for news and noteworthy stuff when we announce when we're doing live streams and things like that. Go to Facebook just to see all the cool and wonderful stuff that we do on Facebook. What else? YouTube. We have so much content on YouTube. It's amazing. Check out our YouTube channel. We're uploading things very regularly. We have demonstrations from our vendors that come in and shoot things with us. I do some pedals and guitars and things like that. We have so much cool stuff coming out. Please check out the YouTube page. And thank you so much for tuning in to Sam Ash Live. For Facebook and all of our YouTube viewers, thank you so much. Let's announce some contest winners. So, the question was, Les Paul and his buddy took a coin and they flipped it. And they went, New York City, there it is. What was the other city that it could have been? So, for a chance to win one of these guitar straps, it's funny, my name is Dave, but my producer's name is Dave. So, Dave, please throw up. Who is our runner-up? Who got it right? For a chance to win belt buckle. I see it. Throw it up. Our winner. Runner-up, BJ Russell with Los Angeles. Nice job, BJ. Yes, that was the other city. What would that have been like? What if Les Paul ended up in California, hanging on a beach going like, you know what? Life's too short. I'm just going to hang on the beach. I'll design guitars when I'm 80. And then the Les Paul never happened, and all these awesome bands never happened, and music never happened if he had ended up in Los Angeles. But he ended up here. How great is that? So, BJ, here's what you need to do. I want you to direct message us and tell us which strap you want. We have belt buckle. There we go. We have Starry. I have this strap, by the way. I'm just saying, because I liked it. I bought it the day it came out. The day it came out of my red tub in Queens, New York, when I was running their guitar department, I said, no one's buying this. It's mine. Don't let that sway you, though. So belt buckle, Starry. We got what I call spiky, because it's shorter, but it's more focused if I put it here. But it's like a tribal band. And then we have black leather with red trim. I call this one Trimmy. So belt buckle, Starry, spiky, or Trimmy. This is Perry's. This is Diodario Planet Waves. This one is Perry's, and this one is Ernie Ball. If you're a brand person, congratulations, BJ! Is that spiking? All right, the whole studio's proud of you, bud. You did it, man! I'm so excited for him. Okay, now the grand prize. I'm so excited about this. Check this out. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy I can barely hold it. Oh! Boom! Look at this beautiful Gibson strap. These things are amazing. They're made of premium leather. This one is the Gibson. It's called the Fat Boy. It's awesome. It's got 1/2-inch thick memory foam padding, soft garment leather backing, soft top quality leather from the Gibson Comfort Strap series. I believe our accessory buyer who gave this to us to give away today told us that this one retails for about $140. And this one is going home to a lucky viewer today. So top quality. It's awesome. I love this strap. I thought about trying to answer my own question so that I could take it, but that's super lame. So it's going home to you. Dave, throw it up. Who's it going to? Who got the right answer? Oh, it's Kyle Leveske. That's your name. I'm sorry. That's your name. Kyle Leveske. Kyle, our grand prize winner. Well done. Nice job, Kyle. So Kyle, please direct message us. We're going to ask you a few questions to get this out to you as soon as we can. Please enjoy your new premium Gibson leather strap. Of course, we went Gibson courtesy of Les Paul because in our hearts today is Les Paul Day. So listen, guys and gals, I hope you had a good time today. I certainly did. I learned so much about Les Paul in this last week that just blew my mind. I love the history that we have with him, and I will forever love him as a guitar maker. We miss you, man. We love you. Thanks for all the work you've done over the years. Happy birthday. And yeah, that'll about do it. So I'm going to plug in here so I can play us off. Congratulations to our winners. BJ and Kyle, please enjoy your new straps. Kyle, I hope you hang something heavy off of this, hopefully a Les Paul, because it can handle it. Oh, that's right. I flipped my pick and pretended it was a coin. So, thank you for tuning in to Sam Ash Live. As always, I'm your host, Dave Stutz, and we'll see you next time.